This isn't your typical cutting board video. This only kind of happened because of a mistake.
And it's haunting you.
To really understand, let's go back a bit. This is me. And this is where the cutting board will be going. Well, once I've built it. So this board is being commissioned from a good friend who's located in Texas, USA. Now you may be asking yourself, how does a simple Canadian man become good friends with someone so far away? And how does that Canadian man end up spending an entire week living with them, technically working illegally in the US? What? You didn't ask that? Well, anyways. It all began on August 4th, 2023. Zoe and I were attending a music festival located in the Toronto area called 𝙑𝙬𝙊𝙀𝙊 Music Festival. This is one of those local festivals that is more on the normie side of the EDM scene. In recent years, it has gotten a little bit better, but I digress. So we're at the back of the crowd enjoying the DJ set, and I'm looking around the crowd of people and I glance past this girl to our left, licking an ice cream cone. I don't think much of it, and I continue people watching. Not even 10 seconds later, Zoe nudges me and says, "I swear that girl was just eating ice cream." So I look over, and now she's got a popsicle. So we're both just sitting there wondering, how did this just happen? I just said, well, there's only one way to find out. So I decide to walk up to her and I ask, "Were you just eating an ice cream?" So she turns to me, looking at me right in the eyes with a bit of a confused face. And I'm sitting there kind of nervous. I'm like, what is she going to say? And why is this such a long pause? Then suddenly she reaches her hand up to her head and says, "What did you say?" as she pulls out her earplug. So I obviously repeat myself. I said, "Sorry, I just wanted to ask, were you just eating an ice cream?" Still kind of confused, but in a funny way, she says, "Yeah." I explained to her what we just saw, and Zoe comes over to join the conversation, and we end up all laughing, and she explains that the ice creams didn't taste that great, so she tossed it and she swapped to the popsicle that she bought. But from here, our relationship with MT began. We ended up hanging out with her for the rest of the festival, and we found out that she came alone all the way from Texas because she was told that 𝙑𝙬𝙊 is great, which if you guys are from the US and considering coming to 𝙑𝙬𝙊, please go to any other festival that you guys host. It'll be 10 times better, I promise you. Funny side story, each night we would drive her back to her Airbnb, which was a shared bedroom with the homeowner. I know it's kind of weird, but to make it even better, the homeowner decided to Airbnb the room in their house where they would keep their printer, and then decided to go into her room and do a bunch of printing at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like in the room where she was sleeping, like right next to her. Anyways, fast forward to February of 2025. Zoe and I are now standing at an airport boarding a plane for our first trip to Houston, Texas. Since 𝙑𝙬𝙊, when we met, I have seen our friend MT at EDC Las Vegas and another year of 𝙑𝙬𝙊, but this time we're actually headed to her house. The main reason for our visit was because she had asked me during 𝙑𝙬𝙁 2024 if I'd be willing to replace the carpet in her bedroom in return for free tickets for Zoe and I to fly and a free place to stay for a week. Texas has been somewhere I've always wanted to visit, like forever, and now I'm being offered a free trip for a day's worth of work. 100% yes. I won't go into all the details of our visit because it's not really relevant, but it was fantastic, and I hope this kind of gives you an idea of who MT is and our relationship as friends. As for the cutting board that we're making, it's not technically for MT, but it is very special. Let's get into that in a little bit though. So we have all the material milled up, and I did confirm with MT on the size and the design, so everything's good to go there. Because the width of the board is 17 inches and my planer can only take 13 inches, that sounded weird. Because of the board's overall width, which is 17 inches, it won't fit inside my 13-inch planer, so we're gonna be doing this in 2 different glue ups. This will allow me to use my planer to get most of it flat, and on the second glue up, I only have to really worry about one joint. You may be wondering what makes this board so special, and if it's not for MT, then who is it for? Well, let me introduce you to A. A was MT's boyfriend, but recently the good man went down on one knee and proposed to her. So this board I'm making is going to be an engagement gift for MT's fiance. If you guys want to congratulate MT and A, I encourage you guys to leave a comment down below. Now that you guys know who MT is, who A is, where this cutting board is going, and what it's for, the one thing I haven't answered yet is, what was the mistake that made this happen? Well, let's get into that. Welcome to the boardroom. Take a seat. Let's unlock your perks. MT reached out to see if I might be interested in making a personalized cutting board for her as this engagement gift. Even though I've never done a personalized board before, and I'd have to engrave it by hand because I don't own a laser engraver, which don't worry, we're gonna get into that a little bit later, I decided to say, yes, let's do it. I then went on to do my typical process where I forward some previous boards I've made to give them some ideas. I went to my cutting board folder, scrolled down selecting pictures to send, and sent them off. After she reviewed the photos, she said that she really liked this one. Obviously, there's a little bit of a backstory with this design. Now, let me go ahead and show you, but for that, we have to go back a bit. So we have an issue with this board. It's presenting a crack. I can kind of show you what we removed so far. There's this massive crack that kind of just showed up in the wood. So you can kind of see it was right there. So we reduced it as much as we can, and we're gonna do a little design. So we decided to just cut all four corners, and this is what it looks like now. Very pretty, very nice, pretty, very pretty. See, this board design only existed because of that unfortunate crack. In the moment, it felt like defeat. I was just so annoyed that the board didn't turn out the way that I had planned. Now that cutting board is what inspired the creation of this engagement gift. But let's go ahead and go back to the current build. What the heck? What's going on? I'm not even it's not me, I'm not pressing everybody. Today we're going to be creating a cutting board for a good friend of mine. The cutting board design that we're going to be making is actually from a board I made over 2 years ago. So I've got some bad news. I think we're going to have to scrap this board and start from scratch. Fortunately, on of course the front side of the board, there is quite a big crack right here. And on the other side, a smaller crack. This end also has a crack. So the cutting board design came to be because of a crack. Then that same design was the inspiration for this engagement gift. But once the design was copied and the corners were cut, it uncovered cracks. And these cracks were bad enough to make me have to remake this entire board from scratch for a second time. So, this is it. Will this design continue haunting me, or will this be the one? There's no way this would happen again, right? Okay, so I think we're in the clear this time. Well, kinda. We still have to get the engraving done successfully. But stick around because I want to see if I can turn that last cutting board mistake into something unique again. So for the personalization, she wants us to get the letters A and M, like the sign and, engraved on the front center of the cutting board. As you may know, I don't own a laser engraver, so I'm gonna have to do this by hand. I'm a little nervous because if you know me, or maybe you saw the video where I made the tire table, which is actually just over there. If you guys saw that video, I have very shaky hands. The font that she chose is called Fancy Script Bold Italic. I've also seen it named a couple other things. Either way, I'll leave a link down in the description to the font in case you guys want to use the font for, I don't know, whatever you want to use the font for, I guess. So I prepped the font on Canva, but then it didn't want to save the document correctly. So then I ended up doing it on Word. I then printed out a few different sizes and confirmed with MT which one she wants to go with. I'm gonna prep some center lines on the paper itself as well as the board, and then I'm going to use some spray glue to get it attached so that I can go ahead and start the engraving. As for the engraving, I'm using a Dremel with some wood carving bits that I bought, and I'll leave links to these down below for you in case you want to get them yourself. All right, let's do this. If you're wondering what attachment I'm using here, technically it's for drywall, but honestly, that thing came in clutch. So for this next portion, we're gonna be basically putting in some handles. I already did one side, as you can see there. The reason why I did it off camera was because I had a lot of dialing in to do. Now it's time to do the other side. It takes like, literally like 30 passes. I don't wanna burn it, so. So we have the handles completed. Nicely done. No burning, which I am very happy about. We're gonna go ahead and start everyone's favorite process, which is sanding. I'm gonna quickly do an 80 grit sand on the entire board. That way I can go ahead and router the edges with like a chamfer or something, and then I'll do the rest of the sanding after that. I was enjoying my sanding until I started getting a little bit of a burning smell. I just got shocked real bad. Enough that I saw a spark. But the problem is I'm smelling somewhat of a burning smell coming from this region, so I gotta open this bucket. How do I stop myself from getting shocked? Holy oh my god, that literally was like a lightning strike. Like you can still see in the dust the marks that it left. Oh my god, do you see that? You could see the lines almost like, well, it's electricity is what it is. That bucket is lethal right now. I want to like put it outside because I'm worried. Holy shit, my fingers are still tingling. My whole arm is tingling. We're not gonna let a little shock stop this project from moving, so let's keep it going. We're almost at the end. One thing I will say though is with what just happened, me being shocked by my own dust collection system, it kind of opened my eyes to realize it's time for an upgrade. So keep your eyes out, because very soon I'm going to be making a video setting up a full permanent dust collection system in my shop. And also we're going to look into fixing that previous mistake so we don't keep getting shocked from the old one. And if it's already out by now and you're watching this in the future, check the top right corner or in the description. Now with that being said, let's get this project done. These cutting boards, or I guess this design, have given me more trouble than I ever expected. But what's really interesting is how it's grown alongside me. The first one was built in my tiny, pretty terrible garage. The second came together in this shop before I had the layout figured out, and the board was much thinner and the process was still rough. And then there's this final version where the design finally clicked and everything came together. Well, almost everything. I may joke that this design is haunting me, but in reality, it's taught me more than any cutting board that I have ever made. It pushed me to learn hand engraving. It forced me to pivot when the first attempt failed, which ultimately became something unique on its own. There's a story behind this design, and with this video, that story won't be forgotten. But what matters most isn't where it started, it's the stories that are still to come, in its new home, far from where it all began.